In the list of strange customs worldwide, there's one that really stands out. Imagine walking into someone's home, and there's a giant cow just chilling by the fireplace. No, you didn't take a wrong turn into a barn. You're just in a small mountain village in rural Switzerland, where sharing your living room with a 1,200-pound dairy cow isn't just accepted, it's tradition. That's right. In certain alpine areas, cows and humans live under the same roof, separated by a few wooden planks, a bit of hay, and probably a mutual respect for indoor voices. It might sound like a scene from a bizarre cartoon, but for generations, Swiss mountain farmers have cozied up with their cows during a long, brutal winter. And they're not doing it to create a live-action petting zoo or to win some weird reality TV competition. This setup actually makes a whole lot of sense once you stop giggling and start listening. For one thing, these homes are usually built with the barn and the house connected under one roof. That's not because Swiss people just really love the smell of cow, but because it's incredibly practical. During the winter, temperatures in the Alps can drop faster than your phone battery at 1%. Heating a stone house at the top of a snowy mountain isn't cheap or easy. So farmers decided, why not let the cows help out? After all, cows are basically walking space heaters. A single adult cow produces a surprising amount of body heat. Multiply that by a herd, and suddenly, your house is staying warm without cranking up the firewood bill. Who needs a thermostat when you've got a herd of toasty Holsteins hanging out a few steps away? But the warmth isn't just physical. In traditional Swiss culture, especially in farming communities, cows are considered part of the family. Not like, oh, we love animals family. We're talking get a seat at the dinner table level of loyalty. Farmers name them, talk to them, play music for them, and yes, sometimes even tuck them in at night. They believe cows are emotional, sensitive creatures, so keeping them nearby during the cold, dark months isn't just about heating efficiency. It's also about companionship, safety, and keeping a watchful eye on the animals that literally put food on the table. Now, don't picture the cows lounging on shaggy rugs in the middle of the living room watching Swiss soap. Most of these homes have a separate but attached section called a stall, or stall stew, where the cows are kept. There's a wall and door separating the animal area from the human quarters, but they're close enough to hear each other. Sometimes the only thing between a farmer's dinner and a cow's midnight snack is a thick wooden plank. It's like living in a duplex where your neighbors moo at dawn. If that still seems too weird, think of it this way. In some cities, people pay hundreds of dollars to go to goat yoga. In Switzerland, they just have dinner with a cow in the next room and call it Tuesday. And let's not even talk about how emotionally soothing a cow's steady munching can be. Who needs white noise machines when you've got real-time cud chewing? Of course, living that close to livestock isn't all warm vibes and cow cuddles. There are smells and sounds and sudden reminders that cows are not polite roommates. They don't exactly care if you're trying to sleep or have guests over. A midnight moo is fair game. So is the occasional body function at full volume. That's when you start rethinking whether cows truly respect boundaries. Still, for the Swiss who've grown up with this way of life, it's completely normal. In fact, it's even comforting. Kids grow up learning how to milk cows before they can tie their shoes. Morning routines involve feeding hay before brushing teeth. It has a life so deeply woven into the landscape and the culture that many wouldn't trade it. For a city apartment, no matter how good the Wi-Fi, even with modernization creeping in and technology making it easier to separate barns from bedrooms, some families still choose to keep the old ways alive. Not just because it's tradition, but because they genuinely believe in the bond between people and animals. And let's be honest, there's probably something deeply calming about knowing that while the snow piles up outside, your cows are just a few feet away, keeping the house warm and reminding you life doesn't have to be so complicated. And while the rest of the world rushes for smart homes and digital thermostats, these Swiss farmers rely on the reliable warmth of a mooing furnace. But let's be clear, this isn't some rustic fantasy or tourist gimmick. It's daily life. The floors are scrubbed, the animals are groomed, and the shared living space is kept cleaner than most college dorms. Hygiene matters, especially when your roommate weighs half a ton and sleeps on hay. Now, over time, this tradition has evolved. While many modern Swiss farms now house cows in separate barns or automated stalls, there's still a stronghold of families, especially in the older generations, hold tightly to this way of life. They see it not just as a necessity, but as a responsibility. The cows provide milk, cheese, butter, the very products that Swiss culture is known for. So keeping them close is a way of honoring the partnership. It's less about convenience and more about connection. There's even a certain pride in the simplicity. While some might laugh at the idea of sharing living space with livestock, these farmers could just as easily laugh back at the idea of spending thousands a year on electric heating or watching videos of animals on YouTube, when you could just live with one. In fact, some families believe cows bring a peaceful energy into the home. Their quiet chewing, slow movements, and calm presence are said to soothe anxiety. It's like a natural stress ball with hooves. Cows are also excellent alarm clocks. Forget your iPhone ringtone. A cow needs something at 5 a.m. You'll know loudly. But that's part of the rhythm of alpine life. Everything runs on nature's schedule. You rise with the animals. You work alongside them. You rest when they do. It's a kind of harmony most urban dwellers haven experienced since they last unplugged and went on a mountain retreat, ironically. Probably somewhere in Switzerland. And speaking of mountain retreats, let's talk about the architecture. These traditional farmhouses, known as chalets, are built smart. Thick wooden beams, sloped roofs for heavy snow, and layouts that keep heat centralized. The living quarters are typically on the upper level, with the cows below. Why? Because heat resists. So while the cows keep warm downstairs, their body heat drifts upward and keeps the humans cozy through the night. It's not just quaint its physics. Even the layout fosters interaction. Farmers can often access the cow stall from inside the house without stepping into the snow. That means no freezing morning treks to a distant barn. Just a short walk across the kitchen and boom, there's Berta the cow waiting for breakfast. And let's not forget the milk. Fresh, warm milk, straight from the source is a daily treat. No plastic cartons, no expiration dates, just pure, unprocessed dairy goodness that gets turned into world-famous cheese, yogurt, and butter all within walking distance at the breakfast table. Of course, all this doesn't come without effort. Living with cows means responsibility 24/7. No sleeping in, no long vacations. Someone always has to be home. It's a lifestyle that demands patience, stamina, and a very strong sense of smell. But the reward is a closeness to nature, to tradition, and to a way of life that's becoming increasingly rare in our screen-obsessed, concrete-filled world. Tourists who visit these villages are often stunned, not just by the beauty of the Alps or the friendliness of the people, but by the absolute normalcy of cows inside homes. Some travelers take photos, others ask, wait, is that normal? The answer, delivered with a shrug and a smile, is always, of course it is. And for kids growing up in this environment, it's the only world they know. They name their families cows, play hide and seek near the hay bales, and learn early that life is about balance between humans and animals, tradition and change, work and rest. These are lessons no textbook can teach. In the grand catalog of strange customs worldwide, sharing your home with a herd of cows might sound extreme. But in rural Switzerland, it's a sign of deep respect for animals, for the land, and for the rhythms of life that most of us have forgotten. It's not about being quirky or old. It's about remembering that sometimes the best kind of warmth doesn't come from a furnace or a switch. It comes from a four-legged neighbor standing just a few steps away, munching hay and keeping the old traditions alive with every calm breath.